The beginning of the story is a wonderful scene. Shady, the male ladies hugging J. Sel, and placing her, went to bed with a dark and seductive look on his face. Coaxed him to call J. Sel's name next. Then the male lead even buried his face in the female lead's lap. To use drugs. His voice was full of sexiness and intimacy. Inviting her Sel, my female lead is afraid to come at this time. Hamlet quickly grabbed his shirt and spoke in a cautious voice, every single sound. Wait a second, Hamlet. It was so bold that he used his head. His tongue toyed with her straps and loved her deeply. Afternoon told her that I was very happy. Is the first person I came to. But right before the male lead did it in the next step. He got a pair again, strong hands, firmly pushed away, not only pushed him away from me J. Sel still seemed very fiercely calling him by name. Hamlet. But even though I was treated harshly, Bond still wasn't angry, but was angry and even responded to her very stubbornly. Yes, J. Sel. Before the afternoon. J. Sel still kept her expression full of anger. He questioned if he was right. Was it you who ordered the murder of the Marquis's daughter? To this seductive question, the angry orange of Sel Hamlet seemed. I saw no fault in myself. Kneel down and gently hold Sel's hand. See it as a treasure. To gently kiss on her hand, and said yes, I will do it. That's wrong, what the hell do you do? So Sel blurted out with a panicked face. That's wrong, what the hell do you do? So do Sel blurted out with a panicked face. Beware about actions and words. This is from Hamlet, but he still comes in. They both calmly replied, that I proposed to you. Why is JSL talking without taking the lead? The words Hamlet telling her made her feel so unreasonable. Hamlet is still very simple and uplifting. Nu grabbed her hand with her eyes. A person who has lost love and patience. Continues to say that. I want to tell my J-Cell that I love you. I hear these words a lot. J-Cell. I don't know what expression to use. Facing him, she could only ponder. It's speechless calling Hamlet's name. I didn't even have time to say his full name. The thin lips of the balloon plate have been placed. Her long, slender fingers felt. The softness made her so scared that she fell silent. It still seems unsatisfying to suddenly fall into bond. I'm still happy with this touch. Continue to stretch the tip of your tongue. To taste the above flavor. Her fingertips used up all her strength. My friend told her that I love you, Gel. Then right after that, the female lead immediately suffered. He pushed her onto the bed, and she was startled. I forgot all about resistance, and could only lie down. Look straight into those dark eyes. The attraction and depth of Hamlet. Sounds like you hypnosis told her that it is just okay. Looking at me is just a series of actions. This thing of yours makes the heroine's heart. Beating her frantically again. She was confused and wild. Brought to the point where I could only silently ask myself, why do things happen like that? Hamlet was so urgent that he quickly hugged her. Just come as close as you want. Her whole body merged with her. Zap. As if ordering she to look my eyes. This J-Cell all the action. This makes the heroine even more miserable. I keep wondering what I did wrong. But then the scene comes to mind of the heroine. At this time, a sick scene. The hospital was filled with bloody stains all over. The doctor quickly shouted to the patient. In need of emergency. He was stabbed by a robber and lost a lot blood. Prepare blood for transfusion. And ran after the structure that was still available. At that time. A collapsed mother holding her hands. The girl was covered in blood, tears and runny nose. I cried and yelled, "Doctor, please save me, my daughter." A collapsed mother holding her hands. I'm sorry, Mom, I have to go first. And then later, when she said these words, her face appeared. Mother's face darkened and she cried loudly. Close your eyes. Don't leave me alone, my child. After a series of things that scream in this mind. The female lead was also startled and confused. Open. I realized that the dream was so real. Her whole body was sweating and she was scared. so scared that he uttered the words heaven and earth. And she also has 1,000 more things in her heart. Reflection after experiencing a dream, that's terrible. J-Cell so scared that I can't breathe. Hastily, put your hand on your chest to comfort yourself. And reassure yourself by seeing his facial expression. Panicked and a little paleness of Cell. Her girthy sister sat next to her. I was worried and asked my sister if she was there. What's wrong? Are you not feeling well? Gail asked as he leaned closer. I'm afraid Giselle doesn't want to answer me. Sal's mother is Duchess CL, along with her father. Duke Milan also stressed when she saw that her daughter didn't seem to be okay. Her mother called her name in a panic. Her duo seemed to want to confirm whether she had. Is it really okay? And her father is worried about it. What's the matter? Stopped the car immediately, angry at these excessive concerns of the female leads. Family only tries to pretend. Suddenly finding an excuse to avoid her, she turned her head away. Look at the scene outside and be gentle. Reply no. I'm fine, it's just me. It feels a bit strange to be back at home. After 14 years of separation, I heard this sentence from the younger sister. Immediately smiled and asked sympathetically, Sister, you are very stressed. Aren't you? Her father and mother also laughed. Happily, speak intimately, even when grown up. No matter what level, the duo is still a girl or lovely. Everyone kept laughing, said that until a while later. Her father and mother also laughed. Happily, speak intimately, even when grown up. No matter what level, the duo is still a girl. Everyone kept laughing, said that until a while later. The wheels no longer roll and the car stops. First, the door to Cel's father's mansion was also gentle. Announce, we'll go to the mansion later. That announcement sound also has one a mood, full of nameless, mild emotions. Gently stepping down from the car, my heart was filled with sadness. I think my hometown, after 14 years, is still there. Not much changed her heart after that. Also full of ripples of silent memories. The strange things that happened to me. GSEL has penetrated this body 20 years ago, while with the whole family stepping into the mansion. Her head was still overflowing, full of speculations about this life. This must be a normal story, seen after being killed by the previous robber. Living in my previous life. When I opened my eyes, I was there, a different world. For some people, this chance to be resurrected may be one good occasion for them to express themselves. But it again not for me. I don't read any romance novel. Can't know how to play the game before. These changed for me over the past 10 years. Cell still has an attachment. For the past year I thought it was all one's dream family, where I was born out, as seen as one of the lions. The founding clan are the gods of the empire. Northern Halen family and I am my family. She thought of this, then looked at the tight-waisted sister. In front of him was excitedly asking his mother if this was really home. My God, why is it so big? This excitement of the mother's younger sister. I could only smile and say, that gal was born. Came out after the whole house was filled to the brim. This is also the first time I see at the mansion, right? Yes, it's completely different from the palace scale. This again showed a guilty look on his face and spoke cautiously. We're both so sorry. Everyone was overwhelmed. It's because I didn't know when she was still there. How long can the whole family blame themselves? Immediately ran to hug her with great love. She couldn't bear it in her mother's arms. Scolded her that she told me no. Being told that my sister was next to me. Also agreed to shout yes, me too, like, and are very much everyone. No one blamed J-Cell for not having a family like that. That made me feel extremely happy. At first, this world was completely unfamiliar. But now, how lucky are you? She was able to adapt to it, she thought. Because I don't want the whole family to become like that. JSL immediately pushed her parents into the palace, praying and comforting them. I know, so let's go. Don't let her push me away so quickly. Dad and Mom. I can only laugh and play with Miss Duo. It's called to talk about our whole family. Entering the house happily together. The remaining female lead stood watching from afar. Every step was filled with family happiness. She immediately wondered what to do with her family. Maybe unintentionally hating people who don't love me. But even so, being loved and cared for to the point no matter what. Jae-sel herself understands that. However, this place is not my place, or, to put it bluntly, this place is not for you. I feel sad thinking about this. Jel immediately gathered up the courage to call her parents, and her parents were also surprised. His face looked very eager to know her. What are you going to say to me? And Jae-sel also, steadfastly and secretly made up my mind. It was necessary to do so. So she immediately used it, said with the most calm and cheerful expression. With my parents, I want to move to Viet Science Research Institute, known as a national organization. The center specializes in researching ghost powers. It even builds and regulates, runs an academy for nobles, and is a long-standing historical site in the world. In addition to humans, there are also people, the existence of elves and gods. So studying magic would be one essential key for human understanding. Go deeper and find a way to return to the original breathing. While thinking about this, JSL also held the flag. The announcement in her hand was a bit unexpected, and also felt a bit lucky. Even I never thought I would. I was accepted to study so quickly. We participated in the academy's entrance exam. But she was a little confused about what she remembered. The day she went there to synonym roll, when she just greeted the person receiving the application, and tell him I'm here to submit admission form. He immediately became. I was extremely frightened and screamed at my aunt. Isn't that the lady of the Halen family? So at this moment, when I look at the red carpentry mark last on the paper, confirming that Jae-sel is still there, Hong Dinkin told himself, as if they knew. I'm sure I'll come here, but you don't pay too much attention. Just be gentle. Take a long breath and look at your face full of joy. He told himself, scrub yourself. Just think about having. You can start researching magic. I just feel great already. But it's only the first day of school. Jae-sel encountered the first trouble. There was. The person who saw her shouted sarcastically, surprised. Oh, are you, lady? Lady Salhan, the person who just said that is a girl. The blonde girl looked arrogant. Following Miss Nong were two other people. Looks like a junior. One word. This part of blonde hair does everything. People present nearby were all chatting. They don't seem to be shy about the female lead. Why speak loudly if it's Halen? That house was offended by its position. Under Mr. Hong Shush. What a lady, I really worried about your gossip. Everyone, Jae-sel still doesn't care until she hurts someone. Speak up, to remind you how careful you are. Your words, the crown prince. No, emperor. Listen again, listen to this new Jae-sel. I was a little startled when I thought of the word Thai. She suddenly felt inspired by this guy. A little memory, thought to myself. Remind me, remember, looks like that crybaby has ascended the throne. Then you have to think about that guy. Jae-sel. I couldn't help but smile inwardly. Afterwards, she reminded herself. Those things are too much for me past. Who would have thought of her dismay? As if he had made the blonde girl crazy. Causing her to angrily scream, now are you ignoring me? Girl pointed at himself and then shouted at Jae. Sell that I asked if you were a young lady. Isn't it from Holland? What? A kid? Girls don't know how to deal with nothingness. This ceremony of blonde J-Cell hasn't happened yet. She didn't react at all. She just silently wondered. This girl is the Marquis's daughter. The blonde girl was still glaring. This girl is the Marquis's daughter. The blonde girl was still glaring. Reminds J-Cell that at the time our family is a co-founder. The empire was exiled to the frontier. The Duke's power was noticeably weakened. And of course, the Marquis's family stopped at that opportunity and emerged stronger than you think. At this point, J-Cell was not worried at all. She thought even more firmly. I don't care about the game. Neither is this nonsense power grab. Need to be afraid or compromise with those who clearly show hostile attitudes. I thought about it, and J-Cell burst out laughing out loud. But this laughter making the blonde girl even angrier. Shouted, why did she laugh at the little blonde? Unexpectedly, he didn't just laugh. But J-Cell still showed a full face. His nobleman questioned her again. Are you truly a noble lady? J-Cell points directly to his disrespect. The little blonde girl called twins' name directly. Other people's families did not teach her these things. Basic rules of conduct and communication. The words were gentle, but full of irony. This caricature of J-Cell's hair, so angry that he gritted his teeth, shouted something with a trembling voice. Then she was so angry that she screamed herself. Rise like a lion. Declared that I am Lily Soon is not only a noble, but also prestigious candidate for the throne. Then she screamed without even paying attention. That from afar there is someone coming. That person is so powerful that he can go anywhere. Everyone respectfully bowed their heads. J-Cell, after listening, was not afraid at all anymore. She waved her hand to show that she didn't care. Noticed and replied that she could do whatever she liked. Because I don't care much. This attitude, J-Cell's words made Lily even more angry. The helpless person clenched his fist and shouted. How dare you be so arrogant after the divorce? Arrogantly shouted that I dared to pat my chest and speak. That I am very close to myself, with the emperor, since he was still crown prince. There it is. As for the Holland family's business, she collapsed, but words had not yet been said. She was all silenced by laughter. Lightly interrupted, it caught Lily's eyes. The mysterious emperor that she just met boldly said that he was coming. Later, J-Cell's back let out a laugh and a silhouette. This made J-Cell free. Still don't understand what's going on. As for the blonde girl, she was so scared that she fell silent. His face looked panicked, his eyes helped. Looks like she's scared because of the things what I just said right now. The emperor seemed extremely angry with him secretly. Said that I must have given the order. Restore your position and return land. A place was given to the Dutch family. But it's still there. If you look down on my orders, why don't you do it right away? After he spoke everyone present was scared. His face turned pale, and he immediately bowed his head and shouted, Greetings to your majesty. The emperor, in English filled with the emperor's fear. He continued to coldly order her to get out of here and get her head for me in cell. At this time, it was His Majesty's visiting hour, and the shrill screams around made her stunt. For a moment of surprise, I wondered what I had heard about testing. Already ascended the throne. But then, she looked again, straight at the person everyone called the emperor. In front of him, silently speculated in a panic-filled way. This person is who suddenly remembered J-Cell at this moment. A book I once read was very good. Many worlds exist in this world. The world is far away from each other, so most all worlds do not know existence at each other. As sometimes happens, those who transcend this world come another world. J-Cell, 6 years old, read and close the book with a blank expression. What little joy then. She seemed green, threw up all the books, but it took forever. No matter how many books it is, she is still very good. Frustrated, he put down the book and thought to himself tiredly, this book has nothing. After a while, searching helplessly, she was just tired, leaning against the tree trunk. He sighed, then say such obvious words. Show me how to move to another world. Go ahead. Exactly. When the female protagonist is extremely troubled, Crown Prince got involved. People immediately came to him, seemingly in a hurry. Hurry to find J-Cell when there's still time. When he reached her, he urgently called out Miss Mia's name. Is this call to get her attention? He looked over their death at this time, with shiny golden hair and extremely adorable face. Always talking. Call me here, J-Cell, I miss you so much. Always talking. Call me here, Cell, I miss you so much. He used extremely affectionate eyes as he walked. Came next to Cell and told Cell. She seemed cold and distant. As she held one, the book appeared like I was busy. Just coldly said a few words. To the prince, hello, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, and to the Crown Prince, heard her greeting and immediately came out. The look of self-pity said to J-Cell around, there's no one. Please call me by my name. After finishing two, Crown Prince still blushed and took out one. The flower with a bright smile was brought before her. Dewesnia then gently said to her that, you should marry me today, okay? If that's the case, then we can stay next to each other every day. And also, the Crown Prince just mentioned here. J-Cell seems with no patience left. She sighed, then raised his voice. Call test as if to stop him. After stopping talking, she became even colder.